and it was like a green, deep ocean. And then I felt I couldn't look more.
Did you have an interview with Mother or just
No,
go before?
just, yeah.
Huh?
We went and Mother gave this small photograph of hers, and it was a triangle. She gave one to Savitaben, then she gave one to Kiran, and again you'll realize how stupid I was. Mother was trying to undo the button on that triangle thing, and I was, Mother, you are not able to do that. I can do it. I can do it. Easy for me.
So we have many things to cover.
Yeah.
Your experiences with Mother, any reminiscences you can share, also of the older ashramites, those who you knew.
Okay, mostly Nipenda and Akka.
Okay.
And then Gangaramda, Akida,
Ah,
my brothers.
I see.
It is,
Tell us a bit about Gangaram, because no one has spoken of him. And you-
Gangaramda is a brother given by the mother. And I realized that we went upstairs for mother's darshan, and we used to take Macintosh candy. So went upstairs and offered it to the mother. When I came down, Gangaramda was right at the entrance of the meditation hall, and I offered him, and he took couple candies, and that is mother's way of saying, "These are your brothers."
Mm.
And mother had selected my husband for me.
How did that happen?
I felt, I told Akka, I said, I don't know what kind of a person I might end up with. So Akka said that to mother, and mother said, tell her parents to send me the photograph and I'll select for Hansa. So one person she rejected, she said, characters are not good. And my husband that I married to, she selected, he said, I select Kantibai for Hansa. He is very generous. And he truly is. If you ask him, you go now, he doesn't know you, and you ask for money, he'll reach in his pocket, whatever he has, he'll offer. And his generosity, the most important part. When I wanted to come and serve Mother and Sri Aurobindo, he said, if that is what you want to do, go. So that was very generous of him.
Yes.
Somebody else would say she left you and went. He would say, we all should go and do what she is doing. So nobody has answer for that
Yes.
unless they want to come.
So you didn't know many people other than Akka, Gangaram,
No, I Akka,
Nipendra?
Nipenda, and then Ichaben, Kaushalyadi, Rajaji, a lot of people in the embroidery department, and Bhartiben Reddy.
Ah, yes.
She's my best friend. And I can tell you, not many people can scold me, okay? But Bhartiben, she tells me, and I know I can't give any answer. I have to do what she says. Don't tell her, okay?
We won't, all right. Just
No, I'm
for a
just
moment,
teasing.
please tell us about your beautiful blouse.
I wanted this because it is service tree flowers, and I'm praying to the mother, please make me like a service tree so I can serve you as service tree has been serving you. So every time when I go to the ashram, to the samadhi, and I hug the service tree, and I say, you are my brother, and please help me be like you. One time we went up after 9, Kumud Ben was there, and she let us play. I had problems with my knee, so I was down crawling in the terrace in next to the mother's room. So I played with, on the branch was low enough that I played with the service tree and crawling. Then I crawled into mother's room and I crawled all around like a 9-month-old baby, and that was wonderful. And one other experience with the mother. Second time when I came, I was fasting for 5 days on the cruise ship we were on. And just before leaving Kenya, I realized I was pregnant. So 1 month in Gujarat, and somebody served dudh milk. And in those days, I would not leave anything on my plate or throw any food out. So I ate one bowl of dudh second bowl, third bowl I forced myself to finish. But I ended up with severe dysentery. When I from Gujarat, then I came, I didn't take the medicine doctors would give because I knew it would be harmful to the unborn. And when I came here, Nipenda gave me medicine, and I told Nipendas, and that was safe. But if I was in Pondi, I would be better. I would have to go to Chennai for something, and it would start. When I went back to Africa, I went by flight because I was not in a condition to, and my mother was blind. She had come here, and we both went back together. And that when I went to the mother, I knew that the unborn baby has not got much nutrition, and it could cause severe problems for the baby. So I was going to the mother, and I said, I'll ask mother to bless, for blessings and help. So we went to the mother, and my daughter Geeta sat down like a teddy bear with the Macintosh candy dabba in front, and she said, oh, Bharti Ben had taught her how to make a garland. So she made small garland with mortality flowers. So she was making it. So I had gone somewhere, I came back, they were both working on it. And Geeta said, look, Bharti auntie taught me how to make har for mother. Har meaning gale mein dalne ka. I said, that is not to myself, that will not fit mother's neck. Okay? But I never, being a teacher for 6.5 years, I don't discourage. I said, okay. So when we went to the mother, Geeta said, mother, I made a har for you. So mother took it and she put it on her hand. And I said, mother knew and Geeta knew. I was the stupid one that didn't know. And as I was walking out of mother, no. Then Geeta offered mother that candy. So mother took 2. Geeta said, no, mother, you have to take more. And see the greed, okay? I said, what does mother want to do with more chocolate? We have to take it back to and offer in the circle as a prasad and whatever, okay? So as long as that greed was in me, mother said, no, this is enough, okay? This is enough. And then I said, why am I being greedy? When I realized and said I shouldn't be, then mother took a handful like this and showed it to Geeta. Okay, I took this. Are you happy? And Geeta said, yes, mother. But 2 things happened, and as I was walking out of mother's room, then I reached the door and suddenly realized that I wanted to ask mother for blessings for my unborn baby, and I forgot. So I turned around. It was mother who had stopped me. I turned around, mother was smiling and looking at me. Beta, are you forgetting something? I said, mother, what about my unborn baby? Mother said, don't worry, I'll take care of her. Now I went back to Uganda. 9 months went by. 1 week, 1 more week, 1 more week. People would say, haven't you gone yet? Haven't you gone yet? It was really bothersome. So
Now, you
9 months and 21 days is when Rekha was born. And afterwards I felt that mother took those 3 weeks to correct whatever the problem was.
Now, Idi Amin was gone when you came back.
No, Idi Amin, okay. Idi Amin was the army officer. Before he had been in a mental hospital, and when he came to power, he destroyed his records of the mental health. And when he came in power, we thought he would be a good leader, and all Indians celebrated his coming to power. But after a year, this is a horrible thing I'm going to talk about now. I walked into my supervisor's office, and one client was telling him that he had been in concentration camp and came back. He said he takes a prisoner out in the yard and has him sit down execution style and bring another prisoner and hand him a hammer. The army officers are standing in line with a machine gun. You hammer that person and kill, or we'll kill you. So the prisoner doesn't have choice. So he would kill. Then they would bring another prisoner to kill the prisoner who had hammered the other one. So that process, that is how they were killing the prisoners. And I didn't believe that would happen in Uganda. So when that client left, I told my supervisor, I said, our client has lost his mind, he has gone crazy. And Champak Bhai, my supervisor, said, Hansa Ben, what he's telling is truth. We should all leave the country. But we had responsibility for the family here in India, so we couldn't just pack up and go. And when Idi Amin gave 90 days, then I had to live with my daughters. They took away my husband's and my daughter Gita's documents, older daughters. And Rekha was very talkative. And when this happened, I didn't want my daughters to learn fear. So I said, I prayed to the mother and Sri Aurobindo, how can I help them be safe and not be afraid? So mother gave the answer. So I told my daughter, these army officers, they are very busy people. So you can say hello, but not go and talk with them too much, chat with them too much. So that way they would not go and bother them or get in trouble with them, and just say hi, hello. So fear didn't come into my daughters. They took away my husband's document. We had to go and get documents verified. So they took away my husband's documents, everything. My daughter's, Gita's was older daughter. They took her documents away. She's not a citizen, he's not a citizen. Younger one was very talkative, and they said she is a citizen. Now after few weeks, there was a rumor that he will throw away out parents who had other nationalities and Uganda citizen children. He is not going to allow them to take their children out. So we made a decision. My husband said it would be best for me to live with the daughters. And Manubai, my boss, he also said, you should leave, you should not stay. And so I went to, we used to help people who needed we didn't do immigration work normally, but poor, uneducated, widows, poor families, we helped them. So people in embassy, government offices knew that we didn't charge these people any fees. So they had quite a bit of respect for. So in the British High Commission, the people at the counter would say, you are helping others leave the country, you don't want to go to UK. I said, no, I'll want to stay in Uganda. One day I might want to go visit. I said, when I want to visit, you will give me visa? They said, yes. So when I had to leave, I said, you were telling me if I wanted to go. Now I'm pregnant. This is the situation. Can you help? They said, come on Monday, go and stand in line 19. I don't know why I think of 19. Stand in that line. So I went in with my documents, my daughter's document. Now, they took away my daughter's passports, Gita's passport. I had both my daughters in my passport. I hadn't removed them by mother's grace. So I went and took their visa on my passport for all three of us, and then left Uganda.
So then you were in London, and from London you went to US,
Yeah,
because Kanti was already there.
already there.
Well, then when did you come back to India?
When I used to tell my family and my husband, when I complete my responsibility, I knew I can't shun my responsibility and come here. So when I complete my responsibility, I'm going to go serve Mother and Sri Aurobindo. So my daughters, my sons, they all understood. So when they were all got good education and were working, supporting themselves, my husband was doing fine. I retired. I said, I'm going. And he said, if that is what you want to do, go. My daughter Gita told me, she said, Mom, you have done everything for everybody else. About time you do something for yourself. Just go. My sons, daughter-in-laws, son-in-laws, they all supported me fully in my decision to come and serve Mother and Sri Aurobindo. They say, if you need something, let us know. We'll take care of it.
And what year was this that you came back?
I think 2005. 2004, 2005.
Did you come to Pondicherry?
No, I came to Delhi.
To Delhi.
Yeah.
So now that's a whole story you have to tell
That
us.
is another one. Okay. I wanted to come to Pondicherry to start with. So my sister Savita Ben told me that you better have a place to stay. So that is where the flat came in. Savita Ben said, I'll send the money now. I said, I'll go back to US and then send. She said, no, I'll send it for you now. You pay me back when you go back to US. So that is it. Once it started, so the flat. I have not spent one night there. But I always wanted that place to be used for Mother's work. And Mother fulfilled that wish. Atmosphere there is so beautiful.
Okay. So you arrived in Delhi,
Yes.
and
And
you
I
found
was,
you found the center. You found the ashram there.
Before I was planning on coming to Pondi.
Mm-hmm.
That is why I had the flat ready.
Mm-hmm.
And Tara Didi, I had known Tara Didi since first time I came in 1963.
Oh, yes.
And Tara Didi also was there in Greenville, North Carolina or South
Carolina.
South Carolina. And I was driving her somewhere. And I said to Tara Didi, when I retire, I am going to come to Pondi and serve in Sri Aurobindo Ashram there. So Tara Didi said, Hansa Ben, we need you more in Delhi than they need you in Pondicherry. I said, Tara Didi, I'll not be deciding Delhi or Pondicherry. Whatever Mother decides is what I will do. And all indications from Mother were for me to be in Delhi. Lot of people tried to discourage me. They said, it is too hot, it is too cold, water shortage, electricity goes out, lot of pollution. I said to Mother, those are all your problems, you handle it. Mine is to serve you. So we have divided the responsibility.
So you came to the ashram,
Yeah.
and that beautiful photo of Mother that we love
Yeah,
so much.
that is in my room in the center is a big photo of Mother coming down the stairs. As I'm sleeping, lying down, it is Mother coming straight to my heart. And I was praying in front, and Tara Didi walked in with lotus buds in her hand
This is a dream
in dream.
in dream.
In dream. And I said, Tara Didi, I want those flowers. I stood in front of the mother's photo and I reached over to get. As Tara Didi was handing me the flowers, then the lotus started opening, and then Maheshwari and Mahadurga, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati, they started like churning one after the other, coming up, up from the lotus. Next day, I told Tara Didi about the dream I had. I handled in the reception, when I handled the money, I remember that Mahalakshmi came and I need to handle it very carefully. And I have two separate money. One is mother's money, and second part, another part kept separately is my money, mother's money and my money. Now mother's money, my prayers are 1 rupee or 1 paisa of that should not go into mine. Mother, please help, bless me, so it doesn't even happen by mistake. And second money is mother's money and then mine. So if this goes to mother's, it was mother's anyway. If mine goes to mother's money, it is mother's anyway. So it doesn't matter. And keeping it straight there, other thing I also understood, not to take any kind of gifts from anybody. Don't take favors from taxi drivers or anybody. For any businesses, not to. So I don't owe alliance to anybody but Mother and Sri Aurobindo.
Now, you had told me something, a story about chocolates.
Yes.
Tell us.
Alok Pandey came to the reception in Tapasya at that time, and he was staying in room 33. He came and he took out a chocolate and opened, and one piece was eaten from it. And I said, my favorite is Turkish Delight. He said, I'm not going to let you have this chocolate, like eat this chocolate. And he folded it and handed me the package. I put it under the counter. The young person next to me said, Didi, you are in control of that chocolate. You can eat it. I said, look, I'll respect the sanctity of the package. I'll not betray it. And then I was sleeping in my room, and I in my dream I woke up, and next to the bed Alok Pandey I was lying like this. Alok Pandey was standing here. I opened my eyes and I said, oh, it is Alok Pandey. No concern, nothing. That it was normal as far as. So that happened 3 times. I woke up and he was standing there. Then I woke up and he was standing there. And then I was in the reception and I saw Alok Pandey coming from this side. His room was there. I said, why is Alok Pandey coming from this side when his room is on that way? So I stretched out and I look, and mother is standing there and directing. So I went to the mother and I said, Mother, you sent Alok Pandey? And she said, yes. And I said, Mother, like first question was, very stupid question, okay? What is mother doing here? Only her children would have such stupid questions. Then I said, I looked at mother and she was directing. And I said, Mother, I want to know where you are coming from. Now, I was our reception was that hallway part, mother was standing somewhere near it. So I saw mother came from there. I said, Mother, can I go and see what you are doing or what? So I walked in, and as far as I knew, there was no room there before. Okay? Next to the reception was here. There was no door to go in the back room. I worked there. After we moved, I didn't go back. There was some reconstruction going. I didn't go and check that. So in my dream, I walked in that old reception to see where mother was coming from, and right on the right side was a door. I entered that, and Sri Aurobindo was sitting at like in full glory, white light. And I said, Prabhu, you sent Alok Pandey? And he said, yes, he has my work to do. And it was like wall white, just so much light and so. I did mention that to Alok Pandey, and I also mentioned it to Tara Didi. It was Sri Aurobindo telling that he has, I don't know how to say it, not assigned, destined Alok Pandey to do his work.
That's what we feel.
Mm.
The same. Tell us about the ashram in Delhi.
I am very, very happy there, working in the reception. And I feel Mother and Sri Aurobindo are showering me with so much love and grace. So I prayed to Mother and Sri Aurobindo, you are showering me with so much love and grace. Please help me share it. And I know they have fulfilled it, because when the guests come in and talk, and they tell me that they are feeling so much love, and it is Mother's and Sri Aurobindo's love and grace that is coming through.
So you do reception work.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I worked in health center. I asked Tara Didi give me work. I was going to go back to US, complete my things I needed to tie down and come back. So Tara Didi said, when you come permanently? I said, no, I need work now. She said, health center. And I said, first work I got here in Pondicherry was Nipenda's dispensary, and same thing. So then after working in the health center, then Dr. Baveja said he needed me to go in the work for Dr. Puri, who was a homeopathic doctor, quite elderly. So I went there, and Dr. Puri had people come in, work for 3 weeks and take off. 3 weeks and take off, so he was frustrated about, he didn't want anybody. So when I went in, he said, I don't need anybody. I said, okay, I'll sit in your waiting area. If you need me, call me. Next morning, he used to come and sweep his own office. So he started sweeping. I said, can I do it? He said, no, I'll do it myself. I said, okay. I go and sit down. So next day, I asked him again. He said, okay. By third day, he said, okay. So I started sweeping, and Nipenda was standing like this, looking if I was doing sweeping thoroughly or not. Then he trusted me. So gradually, I just sat out there. I said, call me if you need me. So after a few days, then Nipenda said, you know, it is getting cold out there. I have a heater here. Why don't you come and sit here? And I would go. He had me sitting in his office then. And I would look at all this. As far as I didn't know anything about homeopathy, okay? Or homeopathy medicine, I hadn't heard anything. So I would look at all these tapioca pills, okay? Tapioca. I said, what is he doing with so much tapioca packets? I didn't ask him. But a cabinet full of tapioca. Those pills looked like tapioca, and I thought it was tapioca. So gradually he started explaining, and
But Nipendra was in Pandi.
No, Dr. Puri.
Dr.
Puri, sorry.
Okay, it's okay.
Dr. Puri would he would ask me, you check the patient. What do you think is the problem? So I would check and I would say what I thought was the problem. And he would say, what would you do for them? And whatever I understood, I say, I would do this. He would say, she's, what she's saying, do it. He would give them medicine, but he also told, do what she's saying. One young boy came and Nipenda said, what is his problem? Now, I was teacher for 4.5 years. And mother was crying. That teacher is complaining that my child is unruly, doesn't listen to what I tell him to do, he doesn't do. And father also was upset. She said, my son is not like that. So Dr. Puri asked me, he said, Dr. Puri would know what the problem is, but just to help me learn, he said, what do you think the problem is? I said, he has problem with his hearing. And he said, which ear? I said, I think the left one. So Dr. Puri checked him, and then he gave him some pills and let him sit for 15 minutes. No, before giving pills, he handed me a bell without the boy noticing, and he told me to ring it on near the left or right ear, and the boy didn't turn at all. With the left one more. So he gave him some medicine. After 15 minutes, then he signaled me to ring the bell. As soon as I rang bell by the left ear, the boy turned. So that is how much improvement right there. And he gave some pills. So then I didn't see him. I was working somewhere else in reception. Tara Didi told me that she needed me to work in the reception. So I started working in the reception. So Dr. Puri told me, said, you know what, that boy who had problem with the hearing? He said, you want to know what happened? I said, yes. He said, he came a topper in his class. That was wonderful. Mother she has given, when I was teaching, I was worried. I taught for 6.5 years, from the age 14, and it was a small town, so they used to hire young girls to teach, lower, first, second, third grades. And I was worried that if any of my students got seriously ill and I didn't know what to do, that could be very harmful. And also parents knew the importance of knowing about medicine, what to give, or herbal medicine, because the doctors would not be always available. So from the childhood they were teaching. And when I worked with the children, I understood more about like measles and smallpox and chicken pox and diphtheria and tetanus and all that. And when I worked in a nursing home 2 years, mother gave the opportunity. 6 months in medical services in a mental health center, and 4 years in medical records, and we were supposed to attend all the seminars. So I got to learn a lot about mental health. Record keeping, I had learned from the lawyer's office and then there, so it also helped. Then when we moved to South Bend, I worked 2 years in a nursing home. I was doing medical records, inventories, purchasing, coordinating doctors' services. So when the doctors would come, I wanted to make sure they write down their orders, they sign everything, and nurses noted down what they needed to. So when I made the rounds with the doctors, when the nurses came and reported to the director the problem that the patient had, what nursing director told my chair was here, hers was here. So two different shifts reporting, learning from the medical records, going around with the doctors, and I organized things really well. So doctors were happy with me. So if I wanted to, didn't understand and asked, they would explain. So that was the learning opportunity about the sickness and illness, symptoms, what they were doing, what helped the cure, things like that.
do you have any letters from mother?
I had one letter, somebody stole it. What mother had said in that if I had asked mother for, I wanted to stay here, and mother said, if in part of your being, if there is still need for human love and affections, then it is better to go through experience of life. So she said, go and get married.
Many important people, or let's say many people we love, have come through the Delhi ashram also.
Yes.
Can you share any experiences?
Tara Didi,
Yes.
when I had known her from 1963, so when she asked me to come, I said, whatever mother decides. All indication from mother were for me to come. A lot of people tried to discourage me from going to Delhi. And once mother indicates that is the place, and I'm happy there. For me, I don't visit anybody in their rooms. If somebody was very sick or something or some serious need, only then. Tara Didi, if I needed to say something or if I needed to talk with her, I would go to her room. But other than that, reception and back. Don't get involved with the gossips. With the guests, be respectful, be firm when I need to be, because that is also a responsibility. And with the money, very straight. If you owe to the mother, you better hand it. Tara Didi tells me to go easy on that part, okay? She says that they know they are supposed to. If they don't, that is their conscience. I want to serve mother. I want my work to be free and clear without being a burden on the ashram. So my prayers to the mother to fulfill my wish that I cover the expense that the ashram has to go for me. And I know mother will fulfill. She has always fulfilled sincere prayers. When there is a danger, mother is there. When those thugs were threatening, I walked home. I didn't tell my husband or family members anything. But unless mother's protection was there, I would not have that courage. If somebody needed help and I could help, I would. Mother always made it possible for me to have that time free to do what needed to be done.
Last question.
Yes.
Your experience or your feeling about Mother and Sri Aurobindo today, and what you would tell young people who are seeking.
Mother, Sri Aurobindo, I am yours and yours only. Please help me be what you want me to be. Please help me do what you want me to do. Please fulfill my prayers. Young persons, lot of young persons are coming to the ashram. Sometimes they know Mother and Sri Aurobindo, at times they don't. So if they have any problems and they come, I encourage others, if somebody has problem, let them come and talk with me. And I explain to them that once they come in the ashram, they are under Mother and Sri Aurobindo's protection, and Mother and Sri Aurobindo are protecting them. So have that faith in you. Keep on telling yourself, Mother is helping me, Sri Aurobindo are helping me. And when we do that, we are opening ourselves to receive that grace. No matter how much Mother wants to pour on us, but unless we ask, she is not allowed to give. So we have to be asking. And the ones working with me, I get them a lot of running to do. The work, we need to get this done, we need to do this, let us work together and do it. And they are really learning. They are also learning English. I try to correct the pronunciation, and my daughters, they tease me. My sons also tease me about my pronunciations. And I tell them, I say, don't worry. When you come to Delhi ashram, everybody will be speaking like me. And the young persons there in Delhi ashram, they are so loving and caring. One day, there was one small piece of chocolate, and I was sitting with them. They started sharing. I said, I don't want it. Didi, you are sitting with us, you have to have your share. So, small morsel of chocolate. That was the best chocolate I had ever had. That is the love of sharing. One more thing about Mother. I'm diabetic, and I was diabetic, and I had no self-control. 3 big bowls of ice cream. I would finish one big bowl, get another one, second one, third one. One big chocolate Kit Kat bar. Finish it, second one, third one. I don't know what it had. Number 3, I don't know what it was. 6, 7 pieces of Indian mithai, even the ones I didn't like. In working in nursing home for 2 years, I have seen what uncontrolled sugar intake does to people. Heart problems, kidney problems, liver problems, strokes, everything. And still I had no control. 29th February, I was worried about myself and my behavior. I prayed to the Mother, Mother, I have no self-control. Only way it would work is if you help me. This is what I have been doing. I went to sleep. Mother came and said, no sugar anymore. And these 2 fingers with her thumb here, she showed me a small morsel. Either it was chocolate or good. She said, not even this much. Chole size. Not even this much, not even if it is prasad. 1st March, not last leap year, the year before, the time before. Next day, no craving, no sugar, and no matter how much people would beg me to have, just a half a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon, I said, no matter how much you ask me, I'm not going to have. And my diabetes is controlled. Doctor took me off all the medicine. So diabetes doesn't disappear. But sugar level is normal. My heart, I had heart problem. I had secondary artery blockage. I had damage to the heart wall. When previous time I went to US, the doctor did the full checkup and she said, I give you a clean bill of health. I said, I have heart problem. Your heart is doing fine, no problem there. I said, I had secondary artery blockage. Said, no cholesterol, how can there be blockage? I said, there was damage to the heart wall. Said, there is no damage. After few months after she told me there was no heart damage to the heart wall, I read in a medical article that damage to the heart wall can never be repaired. I said, nothing is impossible for our mother. So that is her grace. And the happiness, deep, peaceful kind of happiness that I felt was when I started working in the Delhi ashram. I had lot of happy times, lot of difficult times, even overcoming the difficulties and how happy you feel. Nothing can match the deep, peaceful happiness that I feel. So
Thank you.
that is the grace.